Hi everyone, in this AI-generated video, we're going to take a look at some of the presidents of the United States, starting with Joe Biden. He is the oldest person to ever serve as president, surpassing Ronald Reagan, who was 77 years old when he left office in 1989. George W. Bush is the only president who has twins. His twin daughters are Barbara and Jenna. They were born on November 25, 1981, in Dallas, Texas. Barbara and Jenna are fraternal twins, which means they share the same egg and sperm but develop in separate sacs in the womb. They are not identical twins, who share the same DNA and look very similar. Gerald R. Ford was not elected to either the presidency or the vice presidency. He was appointed vice president by Richard Nixon in 1973, after Spiro Agnew resigned from that office. Then, Ford became president on August 9, 1974, after Nixon resigned. Ford ran for president in 1976, but he was defeated by Jimmy Carter. Harry S. Truman. He never used a period after his middle initial, S. Harry S. Truman's middle initial, S., did not stand for any particular name. It was simply a way to honor his grandfathers, Anderson Ship Truman and Solomon Young. Truman's parents gave him the middle initial, S, because they couldn't agree on a middle name. Warren G. Harding. He was the first president to have a radio in the White House. Warren G. Harding was elected president in 1920. At the time, radios were still a relatively new technology. However, Harding was a big fan of radio and he had a radio installed in the White House so that he could keep up with the news and listen to music. William McKinley. He was the first president to ride in an automobile. William McKinley was assassinated in 1901, so he did not get to experience many of the technological advances that came later in the 20th century. However, he was the first president to ride in an automobile. Chester A. Arthur was a well-dressed man who took great care in his appearance. He was known for his stylish suits, silk top hats, and diamond jewelry. He was also a very polite and well-mannered man, which earned him the nickname, Gentleman Boss. Ulysses S. Grant. Ulysses S. Grant was not only a successful general and president, but he was also a skilled artist. He often drew and painted during his spare time, and he was particularly good at sketching landscapes and people. Grant's artwork was not meant to be seen by the public. He kept it private and only showed it to close friends and family. However, some of his drawings and paintings have been preserved and are now on display in museums. Millard Fillmore. Millard Fillmore was born in Cayuga County, New York, on January 7, 1800. His family was very poor and they lived in a log cabin. Fillmore's father was a farmer and his mother was a housewife. Fillmore's childhood was difficult, but he was a hard worker and he was able to get an education. He eventually became a lawyer and a politician. He served as the 13th President of the United States from 1850 to 1853. Andrew Jackson. Andrew Jackson was born in Waxhaw, South Carolina, on March 15, 1767. However, South Carolina was not yet a state at the time of his birth. It became a state in 1776. Jackson was a self-made man who rose from humble beginnings to become one of the most powerful men in the country. He served as the 7th President of the United States from 1829 to 1837. George Washington. George Washington was elected president unanimously in 1789 and 1793. This means that he received all 69 electoral votes in both elections. I appreciate your support. Subscribe to my channel for more great content.